Hello, I'm Martin from Wainwright's, and today we're looking at testing a Bosch 4.2 pump, latest generation high pressure pump on most later cars. There we go, it's bolted on the bench, ready to go. Here's the a Bosch 3 series pump. You can see it's much smaller in design. It doesn't have the transfer pump on the back, so it's got to rely on an electronic pump to get low pressure, and it's only got one pressure generating element, where most pumps have three. So how they've got around that is that they actually run that much faster, they run that at engine speed. We'll be monitoring the temperature of the pump, and we'll also be watching its flow output, so that's flow and return, and then we'll just get going. Alright, we'll just give it a start. Right, I've just run through the flow generation test. As you can see, it's a nice flow upwards with speed. Then we went back on to looking at the pressure, and we started with 200 bar, went up to 1500 bar, and that's what we typically like to see. A bit of a fall down in pressure as you try to get to maintain the correct pressure. We went up to probably the highest pressure we would do on this system, and then we also monitor the back leakage. The back leakage should mostly be level. Instead of when you start demanding loads of pressure, your back leakage figures would slightly go up. You look at back leakage because if there's a problem with the pump, the fluid's got to go somewhere. If it's not going into the injector rail, it's going down the back leakage. Easy as that. You have to be frightened about testing a common rail pump. They're a very simple pump compared to what they were yesterday, well, years ago. It's just a very simple pump. Now what we'll do now, we'll have a look at the electronic test. We're testing the electronic unit. This is a fail open device. There's quite a few different devices about there. This regulates the low pressure. These are called an MPROP. Delphi call theirs a inlet metering valve. Siemens calls theirs a volume control valve, and the Denzel calls theirs a suction control valve. They do the same job. Some open with current, some close with current. This one closes with current, so we'll just do the electronic test. I use a scope. We always test these on pressure. Some people don't. What we'll do, you'll see me increase the pressure. Pressure is red. I'll increase it to about there, which is about, I think it's about 1200 bar. Then what I'll do, I will close the valve with current. We'll monitor current with a current clamp. It's just your normal everyday clamp, nothing fancy. And you probably just saw me there, I just set off the trigger. I set an upward trigger on the current. That's a reference behind. So what I'll do, we'll run it up. I'll run it up at 1000 RPM. Right, I don't know if you noticed or not, but when I actually closed the inlet, the MPROP, what it did, it closed the flow of fuel. You'll probably see the fuel drop. You'll also a dramatic drop in pressure. Probably follows the reference that we've got there, and that's really for my benefit. We use that so I can open and close the valve at the correct time, looking at current. So because it's an actuator, if there's a fault on that actuator, you'd see it in current. Also, if it's a sticking valve, you'd also see it sticking here. As long as it follows your reference and it drops physically, there you go. You've completely tested the electronic parts of the pump. If this had I don't think these do, but if this had a temperature sensor on it, you test that in a similar manner. You just give it a 5-volt feed and you just pick out under the channel on the scope. I think that's about it really. Like I said, the differences are they run at engine speed. You've probably not seen one before, you may have done. The thread size, Bosch on the recent pumps and rails have changed from the common garden thread size onto the injectors and onto the pumps to a very fine thread. We had to get around that. Took a bit of doing it, a bit of a challenge. You can't buy the test parts yet. You can't buy any fitments yet. Bosch hasn't released it, so you've probably witnessed the first time that pump been tested in the UK. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you didn't get bored watching me. Okay, see you later. Bye.